What makes a beautiful thumbnail, other than gorgeous surroundings? Hello everyone, my name is Rob. I'm joined today by Jeremy Vest, and today we are looking at thumbnails on YouTube. So Jeremy, in your eyes, and that's one of the things we're going to look at, what makes a beautiful thumbnail?
Hey Rob, thanks for having me on the channel. I think thumbnails need to pop out from the thumbnails. You know, the suggested videos on the right hand side are the #1 source of organic traffic for most channels. So I think what makes a great thumbnail is actually standing out from the crowd from all the suggested videos around you. So the contrast and the color, I think that's what makes a good thumbnail.
In a thumbnail you might have a person in there. Do you recommend having like your own personal face in there, or somebody's reaction, or another type of, I guess, human emotion and element to a thumbnail?
Yeah, I think that subconsciously eyes are the window to the soul. So you want to have someone's face on your thumbnail when you can. You know, you can't always have a face on a thumbnail, but when you can, have their face fairly big so you can actually see the whites of their eyes and you can see their emotions. Believe it or not, nonverbal communication has more to do with communication than audio communication.
And it's kind of ironic here that we're telling you to use the whites of your eyes in a video when we're wearing sunglasses, so yeah, that's a little bright. When we're talking about eyes, it leads on to the idea of an emotional element of a thumbnail. So talk a little bit more about what drives a potential viewer to click on it through emotion.
So, you know, intrigue, or like a lot of thumbnails you see people like something's about to happen. Telling a story through a thumbnail is really important. So having emotional intent with the person's face on your thumbnail is really, really important. I mean, you're not going to click on something that looks boring, right? You're going to click on something that looks fun and exciting, or something you're going to learn from. So emotion is kind of the beginning part of any YouTuber. You have to connect with people. It's about a personal experience. So use as much emotion as you can in your thumbnails.
And of course, emotion leads to storytelling.
Think of your thumbnails like the stuff behind you. Like, let's say you have your face. Tim Schmoyer of Video Creators does a very good job with this. What he does is he actually puts elements from the story, like visual elements from the story, in his thumbnail. So you can see in a really small little window on the right hand side, you can see what the video is about. My favorite storytelling of any thumbnail of all time is from Vsauce. He has a yellow box, it's just yellow, a yellow thumbnail, and the title says "This is not yellow." So the intrigue, you're looking at a yellow box and the title says it's not yellow. The intrigue of the two things are like, wait a minute, it is yellow. So people click on it and he has over 20 million organic views. Telling a story is really, really important.
So that doesn't have a human being in it, there's no eyes or anything, but the storytelling is the strength of that particular thumbnail.
Yeah, and there's always exceptions to the rule, right?
Absolutely. There's
always exceptions, and you have to be creative enough to get someone to think. And if you can get someone to think, of course it's easier to do with eyeballs and engagement and emotion, you know, and vivid colors. But that, I just wanted to give you the contrast of that story because it's brilliant and it works.
Mm-hmm. What we've looked at so far is potentially using eyes, human expression, emotion, excitement, intrigue, telling a story. These are kind of like the intangible assets of a video creator, that you create almost in your mind. But now we're going to look at the more practical things, like when you're using an editor and how you're developing the thumbnail. What things can you recommend from that perspective?
One thing, again, your job doing these thumbnails is to stand out from the crowd. When you're in like Photoshop or a photo program and you're editing these thumbnails, you may be doing it this big. You might want to scale it down to the size of an actual YouTube thumbnail on the right hand side. And what you want to do is you want to saturate these colors 20 or 30% more than you normally would. You want to sharpen these thumbnails, you know, 30, 40, 50% more than you normally would. So you want these thumbnails to pop. You want the saturation to be more colorful than your counterparts. You want it to be sharper and crisper than your counterparts. And beyond that, I am a big believer of repeatable elements. So let's say your videos rank number 1, 7, 9, and 12 on the right hand side. What if you had a color, a shape, or a logo that tied them all together? Then all of a sudden, it's kind of like the Matrix. Our brains love patterns, and what happens is you now visually see they pop out from each other. 1, 7, 9, 12. It's like the Matrix, and they all pop out. So it's almost like you have one big thumbnail. When you have a repeatable pattern on a thumbnail, what we've found is people are more likely to click on your thumbnails than even the first position.
So saturate the thumbnail, saturate the search rankings.
Boom.
Okay, so the real challenge for us in this video is to produce a fantastic thumbnail that encompasses all of these elements, and that's going to be the challenge for you, to Jeremy. We'll pass it to you.